My name is Laminjai and this is News Review. Thank you very much for being there. Coming up for you on the show today, Keba Jallow calls Tumanjai a problem person as a huge row breaks out over the soul of People's Progressive Party. We have a report on that. I managed to speak with Keba Jallow there at the PP's Congress in Bukamaba over the weekend. Dabo finally addresses talks around the draft constitution. We have a report on that too. Also, IEC on Monday registered Democratic Party taking the country's number of political parties to 17. But what does Gambians think or say about the amount of parties in the country? Well, find out. Modu Sabali will be my guest today. For all of this, we'll look at what the newspapers are reporting on today. We'll begin with the Standard. The lead story is saying UDP to reject draft if altered. 30,000 COVID vaccine doses due today. Longest serving Gambian journalist Bartrawale dies. Ex-police coordinator weeps at horrific memory of Ghanaian migrant massacre. Tumanjai forms rival PPP executive. Group warns Gambians of Turkish scholarship scammers. Also one more political party formed. That's the Democratic Party there. So according to the Standard, for the first time since he returned from the Abuja Constitution talks, UDP leader Usainu Dabo has rubbished claims that his party is the only obstacle to the realization of a new constitution. In fact, we have a report on that and we will bring you that report a little later. 30,000 COVID vaccine doses due today. The Standard has been reliably informed that some 30,000 doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine will arrive in Banjul today. I was able to understand that the vaccine will arrive at 10 p.m. tonight. So that is the development there regarding the country's vaccine move there. Longest serving Gambian journalist Ba Trawale dies. Ba Trawale, the lone surviving journalist of his generation, has died. He was well into his 80s. I think he was 90 years old. Ex-police coordinator weeps at horrific memory of mass murder of Ghanaians. A former Gambia Police Crime Management Coordinator, Pa Amadi Jallow, yesterday recalled how he was yanked off the investigations into the massacre of West African migrants the morning he was quoted by the Daily Observer describing the state of the bodies as foul play. Tumanjai forms rival PPP executive. Banjul South National Assembly member Tumanjai, who trooped out of PPP's weekend Congress alleging foul play, yesterday announced that she has formed a splinter executive to lead the party pending free and fair elections. That is the PPP dispute there. Group warns Gambians of Turkish scholarship scammers. The Association of Gambian Students in Turkey has raised alarm about certain individuals who are claiming to be providers of opportunities or incentives such as scholarships that would enable prospective students from the country to pursue higher education in Turkey. One more political party has been declared by the IEC. It is called the Democratic Party, DP, led by Yusufa Dumbuya. We are able to gather that he's an accountant based in the United States. Let's see what the point is reported on. Ghanaian survivor recounts massacre of West African migrants. New political party formed. That's also reported there by the Standard. Mohast, that's the Minister of Higher Education, debunks fake news of UTG scholarship. Ex-police investigator explained massacre of, I think Standard reported on that too. So according to the point, the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology would like to respond to the recent fake news being circulated on social media regarding the University of the Gambia scholarships that was officially disseminated by the Ministry for application on the 13th of January 2021. The release from the Mohast states it has come to the notice of the Ministry that some unauthorized individuals have shared or are still sharing the information that students whose application status on their respective Mohast application portals read denied should report to the Ministry to be shortlisted. Yes, I think that's all we have for you for the newspapers. We will take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Thank you very much and welcome back. So Ousainou Darboe, that's the UDP leader, has finally addressed talks around the draft constitution. He was part of the political leaders who traveled to Nigeria for talks with the former Nigerian leader, Goodluck Jonathan. He declined to speak at the airport shortly after he returned to the country. But the UDP leader has finally spoken. More in this report.
More than me, as he finally addressed the issue of the draft constitution. Darboe was among the nation's political leaders who met with former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan in Abuja as the fate of the draft constitution continued to hang in balance. Darboe declined to comment on the Abuja trip upon his return to the country, but he on Sunday addressed the issue. Speaking at the UDP's Manjai office on Sunday, Darboe touted his love for his country and how it made him take on Jammeh in 1996.
Ning bol bis magula bol na lang ni papara ko to ibuka kana mo bi wala ka mo national interest to national interest ko alba for national interest for solo standing muna ya fa for national interest ako Bankola Lua, constitution Anyata Mena, Labra reform Anyata Sotla, all for the interest of this nation, Solo Sunday. It can make up of the national interest, Yumane Dimuda, Yumane Bari Yamuda, yes, I'm police, then I'm the national interest. Yumane, Yen Soronjato, Yen King Soronjato, Yen Negamuso Soronjato, all the national interest, Yaka Yumane, Lamaro Bakajere, Mama Mayfa, all for national interest. In
another development, Mr. Darboe said,
1996, because I love my country. So I was Kumol for the day, Nina the Blonda, Coty Penny Pampo, Bacon. I'm going to have a report that you're not going to get our stuff. To carry, I didn't the national cost, I didn't get Yama. I didn't wait more Pumila, Capo in my dumping in Bangkok. More than in Bangkok, I made up in Bangkok. And again, Cyber campaign in my bucket is not taking another Democratic Party and it has not taken for the day of all that Mary Adina, the constitution as it is a Manana person. Now you're intended, the Lord and but not this fake appeals to national interest. No, that's what government party. They have never shown any interest in the welfare of this country. They have never challenged the dictatorship in this country. They have never done. Below, Polu, a Bolsman, a Banco in Ireland, Mobile Boy said, a young man, never in Banco crisscross. If you have but none of them got near us. So, Nyaya Bini for a Kunu go forward. Not more radio, Star Radio, not more other stations like those. Trying to show UDP no problem. UDP doesn't make a problem. UDP, Gabini Constitutional and Co. I didn't pass. He didn't want Mara. Melko at the pass there. Look at the young folio and the interest of the nation that I give it. Melko and Mandaka constitutional colon. Yafo the colon. And I give it. I pack on the party. Yafo, not me. Femfa from the first one of the constitution to the last one. The UDP now bears support. Kaya potato, kita ni lodi bolda, kaya na pwede na pala dito. Ni mata ni lodi bolda. Mawala. Kaya magkano ba? 4 CRC Talomba, Pare. The 1970 Constitution, 1997 Constitution, or 2021 Constitution, whichever.
Anyone.
For News Review, I am Mate Senghor.
Meet Sarah and Tracy from the top 8 finalists of the Be a Star Sierra Leone. Their lives changed from day one. New original songs. Be famous and successful. Be a star in the Gambia.
And the biggest stage right now in Sierra Leone.
Being a part of Be a Star is going a step further in chasing my dreams and my career as an artist.
All you have to do is record a video of you singing your favorite song, not more than 2 minutes long. Send the video by WhatsApp to the following number, 22-99944, using an AfriCell number. State your name and where you're from. Be a winner of a fully recorded album and $500,000. AfriCell Be a Star, your road to success. Meet Sarah and Tracy from the top 8 finalists of the Be a Star Sierra Leone.
Home is where the heart is. Home is where you feel safe and secure. Dalaba Housing Estate is the newest estate by TAF Africa Global, located strategically along the newly built Sokoto Jabang Highway. Dalaba Estates offers roads, street lights, a gated community that offers water reticulation system, solar street lights, and a proper drainage system. Over the next 10 years, TAF Africa Global aims to build 10,000 homes in the Gambia for you to own. For you to feel safe and secure in a community with all the necessities to live comfortably.
Thank you very much and welcome back. I'm now joined by Modou Sabally, UDP member, also former Secretary General and Head of the Civil Service. Sabs, thank you for coming. First of all, let's talk about this development, 4 Kafos adopting you as their godfather. How did that come about?
Well, I guess it's a result of my activities in the UDP, and I love dealing with the communities at the very grassroots. And UDP has a very vibrant social media network, especially in WhatsApp, and I do really communicate a lot. And for the past 2 months or so, every weekend I'm in the country. So some of these towns and villages around the country just appreciated what I'm doing for the party and decided to honor me. It's an honor.
How many people are we talking about?
Well, we have at least 7 towns and villages. We have Sami, Tamkonkunda, the whole of CRR North. They adopted me as their brother. Bakang in Jokadu, Chamen Nyanija, which is Sidi Jai's hometown actually. Yes. Bakau Bremen, in Bakau you have Sabally sisters, and I think it's the Kali end. And there's a village in Badibu, Balengo, who actually did not make it at the ceremony over the weekend. Another very ceremony, another group of women from Wellingara came and did the honors. They want to adopt me as their father, alhamdulillah.
So this issue of godfather, what does it entail?
I would not call it godfather as such, you know. It's what my wife
because
calls,
if you say father has to do with something that is biological, so godfather would be the appropriate.
It doesn't have to be. I was just going to approach my wife Jay and her paper she presented at World Book Day a couple of years ago on this concept of lost in translation. Yes. There are certain terms in our local language you can fully translate. You cannot fully translate them. English. So I think the better term would be honorary father.
Honorary father.
Yeah,
exactly.
So they're honoring you by adopting you as their father. It has nothing to do with biology. It's just an honor. They appreciate what you do. They're happy about what I'm doing for our common cause, and that is the politics of the United Democratic Party, the government in waiting.
But do you have a TOR? What does it entail?
Well, it's basic, Laminja. If you're born and raised in our local communities, you know it's an honor. There is an honor bond between you and those people. Naturally, I would have to practically do the christening, Kulli. I would have to organize a ceremony. And if they have stuff in their towns and villages, I am obliged to go and join them. And if I have my own events too, I should extend the honor to them.
Now, in terms of these people coming to you to say that you are their honorary father, as you would
Yeah,
want to put it.
Yes.
I mean, in terms of the party, your party, UDP, how does that affect positively or negatively in terms of the support base of your party?
Well, it's actually...
are these people UDP supporters or?
They are overwhelmingly so. It's a shot of adrenaline into our party politics, like the party leader and Secretary General Alhaji Hussein Dabo said at the occasion. It's an adornment in the party, and it creates a lot of excitement. If you look at the pulsating energy, verve, and vivacity at the Manjai Bureau that day, even those who are not part of this now want to be part of this. I just saw breaking news. There's a community that has adopted Mayor Rohilo as their mother. She also has a group. Ibrahim Adiba has, Talib Bensouda has, Lamin Dambundiba has, Same Pachonki, which was actually part of the ceremony over the weekend. They adopted Aja Binta Jabi as their mother. So it's all over. It's nothing new in the party, but it's very good for our politics.
It's very good for the politics.
It is.
It is helping the party in terms of support.
Absolutely, yes.
Your party leader was there. This was a big event on Sunday. UDP leader Dabo, he spoke there, and he said a lot of things. And then at some point he said, nobody loved this country more than him.
He has every moral right to make that claim. It's backed by action, sweat, blood, and tears.
Yet you have some people who say, no, he is the problem
Absolutely,
of the country.
the
This man doesn't love this country.
Allah brought him as a mercy for all creation, not just even human, but even those who disbelieve. Some people still hate him. That is natural.
But Dabo is not the prophet.
I know he is not, but I'm giving a bigger example. If people can hate the prophet,
they can
they can hate anybody. So it's okay. We're used to those things.
Fair enough.
He has more lovers than haters, and in that we are content. Alhamdulillah.
He addressed an issue, a very controversial issue,
Yes.
the issue of the draft.
Yes.
There, for the first time, he spoke about the talks that are around it. I mean, he came, declined to speak at the airport. I mean, there was a report that we did on that. But he spoke to say, and it would appear that your party is standing its ground in respect of the draft. You really do not want to compromise, as the GDC national chairman would put it.
Yeah, I think Dabo spoke very clearly, very authoritatively, with steel determination, and he has the intellectual, moral, political right and grounding. He's on terra firma. He said the right thing at the right time, in the right manner, to the right audience, and we fully support the party leader's position on this.
You support this position, but clearly there is a standoff.
Yes.
You would realize that, I mean, the Gambian people want a new constitution. But now you have our political parties, trying to play with us, to mess with us, by making, holding this draft constitution to ransom. Do you think this is fair at all? Because it would appear to me that all the political parties are responsible, not just one side, as some would put.
I think this is unfair, and this is a game being spearheaded by nobody but Adama Barrow, which is really very unfortunate. It's heartbreaking. It's disappointing, to say the least. Barrow is playing ping pong with the whole nation. Unfortunately, some parties are playing along. Like on the constitutional debate, I am not dogmatic about it. In fact, I respect the views of all parties, but I take the position of my party, and I'm actually against those who are trying to insult people who oppose the draft. I saw certain headlines. I think it's completely unethical in a democratic setup. People have the right to disagree.
Yes.
But for Barrow, morally, he's completely bankrupt for having promised a country a new dispensation, a new constitution, to do away with self-perpetuation, and then comes out and thwarts the constitutional process and pays his way to kill this constitution, and then want us to go and play good luck games. I mean, like I said, the other parties is there, but Barrow, definitely this is wrong, it's unfair. And I saw your news article on Mustafa K. Dabo's response to Honorable Omar Sise, and Honorable Omar is my boy. I love him,
yes.
But I agree with Mustafa Dabo totally. This is not a game. It's the future of a whole nation at stake. These people should not play with us.
Now, how about the urgency of triggering in a new constitution? Because some of the political parties and their leaders, their contention or argument is that, why don't we allow President Barrow to have his wish for the sake of the urgency of having it. Because if you don't have it now, you are not promised that you are going to ever have it. That is no guarantee that when another person takes charge in December, he too can come and say, the issue of retroactivity, I'm not fine by that. And that will present clear problems for the whole nation.
I quoted your Fatu Network article, the opinion by Mustafa Kedawa, for a reason, because the reasoning is well articulated. What you are saying, we wanting a new constitution, despite the obvious obstacles and the Mickey Mouse game being played by Adama Barrow, should not make us to accept something that's morally and ethically wrong, to kowtow to one person's personal interest. My mother has this beautiful proverb in Mandinka, when it rains in the summer, sometimes you can have these urges to eat maybe sand or even these millipedes. But that urge should not make you to eat a millipede. The Gambians are not going to eat a millipede just because we want a constitution, even though the person who is supposed to lead this process is the murderer-in-chief of our constitutional process.
Now, you have people who claim that the UDP position is the common Gambian man and the common Gambian man's position. Is this the case?
I think so, because UDP is the biggest party. We have the biggest followership, and we relate more to the common man than any other party.
Now,
I believe that's true.
In terms of the parties deciding, spearheading this so-called dialogue, trying to decide the fate of the Gambian people, trying to decide, because clearly what is in the constitution or the draft, that was put there by the Gambian people. It was the Gambian people who said that the president's current term should count.
Yes.
So I think it should be the Gambian people who should decide whether that should remain or that should be struck out. In terms of parties now taking the front row position, front row role in trying to change or not change that, do you think that makes sense? And these parties, I'm not even sure that they are even consulting or going back to the people to ask them whether they want it there or not.
You'll be disappointed. I'll tell you it makes sense. You know why?
Why?
These parties never came into this political fray with even an inkling of hope of winning the election, but they were hoping for a 50+1 rule that would empower them, even if they don't have a base, to come to the national banquet and stake a claim. Unfortunately, their hopes have been dashed by Barrow's Mickey Mouse game. If we go to on this first to the post, these parties cannot be, the party leaders of these small parties cannot be ministers like Mai Fati and Henry Gomez. But I've been saying this. I mean, Mai and Henry, what worked for them is not going to work for anybody. And at the time, in fact, I think they deserved it, because that was the time when it was really challenging and risky and to get into the fray. But just because you think it's going to be easy to get a GG car and an Audley, you came this. God has ruled. The voice of the mass is the voice of God, and the UDP is.
So are you dismissing their relevance? Is that what you are doing?
Absolutely, absolutely.
But this is not fair, Mr. Savali. Is this fair at all? Well, these are political leaders. These are people that have their parties. They have their bases.
I'm not interested in whether it's fair or not. I'm speaking the truth, and I know
what is the truth.
I know that you know that what I'm saying is the truth.
But you do not know
they came into the game and played a gamble. Now the rules have been changed by Barrow. Let them go after Barrow. Barrow is the one who is messing up their game. It's Mickey Mouse time, man. Let them go and jump at State House. Yes.
Now, one thing that Dabo also said, with or without the new constitution, UDP is fine. Yes. UDP is okay. Yes. But really, do you think this is not risky? Some risky, play, if you like.
No, I think if you read Dabo's position quite well, he's telling you he knows Barrow is trying to play a game to see which is the easier way to defeat the obvious leading candidate here. And he's telling you either way we're going to win, but as a matter of principle, we are not going to play along with your Mickey Mouse game.
So, but also, if you analyze the whole thing, you would, one might be tempted to advance the claim that UDP is trying to exact some form of revenge on President Barrow because of this bad blood that is between them, not necessarily the national interest. Because these days, to tell you the truth, every single Gambian lays claim to national interest. Every monkey that gets up would say, "I am fighting for the national interest."
Well, it's good you are talking about monkeys. We are the elephants, yes. And we, I mean, really, yes. I mean, if you know lawyer Usainu Dabo,
yes.
and his adherence to constitutionality and the rule of law, he would not play games with this.
Yes.
Ousseynou is speaking the voice of the masses, yes, and he's not budging on this. But back to what your quotation, he's saying, take whichever path you want to take, we are going to win, but we are saying, we promise the people a new constitution. We want that to happen as drafted by the voice of the masses. We don't want anybody to play games with the voice and wishes and sacred desires of the Gambian people.
Now, should the draft constitution fail to make its way, and then December gets here, and then we go by the 1997 constitution, and then Dabo wins, for Dabo to also, because consistency in this Gambia is always a problem. I hardly find it when it comes to our country. What I'm saying, the question is,
yes,
should Dabo also flip to say, this issue of retroactivity, I don't like it. It should be, taken out.
You're talking of lawyer Ousseynou Dabo.
Yes.
I once quizzed a lawyer,
yes,
on these issues of constitutionalities regarding elections. And at the time, Dabo had a lot of power. I was not UDP then. In fact, I was fighting with them.
Yes.
But I asked this guy, couldn't Dabo play certain tricks with the constitution to make things a little bit better for him? He told me, Sabally, I know lawyer Dabo. He would never, ever play with the law. And I believe that to be the truth, and I've seen that in him.
You believe that?
I believe that 100%.
But I believe President Barrow, when he said he was going to serve for 3 years, I looked at him and said, oh, this man is an innocent man. This man meant what he is really saying. He said 3 years, only for him to flip. But so you could see, and I was shocked. And I was shocked that Barrow did that. So look, you could see that the Gambian politician is not one to be trusted.
You don't want to use Barrow as a yardstick for all Gambian politicians. And I think the issue of 3 years and 5 years, important as it is nothing compared to the Constitution. And that's what everybody is crying. We wanted this. We did not want the 1997. We wanted something. And Barrow himself used this as part of his excuses for wanting to stay for 5 years. For Allah's sake. This cannot be good. They can't whitewash this in any way. It's wrong. It's wrong.
What do you make of the involvement of Goodluck Jonathan in all of this?
My good friend, Goodluck. Really, I'm disappointed. I think Goodluck doesn't have what it takes. At least somebody I know, I've interacted with at close quarters when I was a presidential affairs minister. From the beginning, I knew it was going to fail. Goodluck doesn't have what it takes to make any such thing work.
Why do you say so?
I know
what is wrong with him.
I mean, I don't think he has the intellectual acumen or even the moral stamina to drive such a process. And I think, I would not say they use the same language, but if you looked at the reasoning of PDIS, they were like, okay, no, we can do this. We don't need a third party.
Chaps, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. That's Modou Sabally, former Presidential Affairs Minister, now a prominent member of the Opposition United Democratic Party. Government in waiting. Yes. Okay, good luck to that. So now I will bring you a story there which has to do with PPP, the huge row that has engulfed that party there. Their Congress at the weekend churned controversially though Keba Jallow as the new leader of the party, but he has branded his rival, that is Tumanjai, as a problem person. The officials last Saturday met in Brikama to elect a new leader, but a row erupted, which resulted in Tumanjai storming out. She claimed that the process was marred by fraud. But speaking to the FAD network there, Keba Jallow, who is celebrating his own victory after the EC of the party, that's the Electoral Commission of the PPP, returned him as leader of the party following an election which show only his supporters vote for him. He is saying that Tuma is a problem person. More in this interview that I had with him. Jallow, thank you very much. Yes. First of all, at the start of this event, this conference, you expressed confidence that you are going to win. Yes. But the way and manner in which it came really would surprise a lot of Gambians. How do you explain this? What happened here today?
Well, in any event, especially in elections, the unexpected things happen. I didn't expect it was going to be like this, but then we prepared for it. No matter what, the election will continue. And there is always an internal way of solving disputes, not the way it's done. But however, I want to look at the positive side. If there is any lessons to be learned, we will talk stock and learn the shortcomings. But the election process has passed. Now we are looking forward to the future.
Now, because this is a serious problem, your opponent stormed out with her supporters, alleging that the election was being manipulated in your favor. Is this claim true?
You know, if you were listening to all the speeches, there was nothing fraudulent or manipulated. She was in the process from day one, completely involved in everything. She admitted it, that she attends all our meetings, she votes, and she was defeated 10-3, that we should change amend the constitution and making it a raising of hands. What's the problem? So this is what we accepted it in the committee, and that's what we are acting on. So, but normally this is what happens. If a loser loses sometimes, he wouldn't take it in good faith. He has to find a way of blaming others or a fraudulent way of winning. But this is not it. This is very clear.
What do you make of the involvement of NPP in this? Because in congresses, I have attended a lot of congresses, but what I have seen here, I've never seen that anywhere. For the top 8 or officials of another party to sit, even while the party that is in question holding its election, and you have their officials, some sort of supporters, if you like.
No.
That is what I have
No, there is no. Listen. You got that wrong. There was no NPP here. There was a delegation from the government, not NPP.
From the president?
Yeah, from the president's office. The two guys who say here, no, they are not. They are not NPP. They may be supporting NPP, but they are from the president's office.
Their cars are everywhere.
No, fine. No. Listen, that doesn't matter. We are a coalition. President Barrow gave 50-something vehicles to political parties, MPs. Is that a crime? If it is a crime, well, maybe we can say for him to borrow us, if possible, these 3-4 vehicles. I don't see it as anything.
And are you bothered at all that the claims are that these people, the president's delegation, support you? And since yesterday they were...
But we support we support the president. No. Listen. We support the PPP. Let me tell you, as I just said it here, in 2016, when Barrow was not a president, PPP was very instrumental. I think you were all in here. I was in America. PPP was very instrumental through OJ for the selection of the President Barrow as an independent candidate. So for us to continue supporting President Barrow, I don't think we are not alone.
But in the regional congress, you say that PPP they are not going to contest, but we are going to back to President Barrow. Do you think that they are not critical for them to back the candidate?
So, okay, now we said the party was not prepared. We are waiting for this for today, for this thing to happen. We will work with President Barrow, even if whereas we will support him, we'll have to make conditions. We'll discuss with him. We'll discuss with the president, the NPP or the president, to see how we can work together so that we will agree on where we can agree and disagree on where we will disagree. But we will not give him blanket support like that. We'll have to sit down with President Barrow and discuss issues that matter to both parties. Not that we are going to blanket support President Barrow. It doesn't work that way.
Now let's talk about your win. You could see that the delegates who seemingly support your challenger all left. So the other delegates that voted for you, it would appear that these are delegates that came here, decided that they were going to vote for you, 92 of them. So in terms of the legitimacy of your win, your victory, are you bothered at all?
No. But don't forget, don't forget, they also mentioned that there were about five countries that did not participate. Add that 5 times 420. If you add all to mine, it's more than half. Look at it. So for me, I feel I won comfortably over 2/3 of the vote. More than, little bit less than half. So for me, I feel it's a comfortable win, and I knew I was going to win, no matter what. But we also expected this thing was going to happen. Last night she was here with our supporters. Yeah, they said it.
They were going to cause chaos here.
Exactly, and then there'll be no election. That's what they said last night.
But
so
But Honorable, it's like 5 constituencies we are not represented.
5 times 4, 20.
Yes, 5 we are not represented, so it's like 20 abstains.
No?
No, it's like 5 are not represented, so it's 48 who are represented. But out of those 48 are 20 abstains.
Okay, no.
Yes.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 abstain.
Yeah. Okay, and then I got 28.
28, yes.
So who won? I asked for that. If I won 48, no, listen. If I won 28, no, listen. If I happen to win 28 constituencies, and see, for example, did not even vote, you will never know. The 20 votes, the 20 constituencies just left. She did not even win those seats because those delegates, because she did not contest. So you cannot give her anything. It's zero.
No, but in the
No.
If it is clear.
No. What I'm saying. No, listen to me. See, if you cannot claim to give her those 20 constituencies, you cannot. There was no counting. There was no election. So she doesn't own it. Listen.
How about yours?
You counted it, you saw it. It was mine. I got 28 votes, 28 seats. 28 constituencies. So those are intact. For me, I got 28 constituencies. For her, the 20 you're talking about, it's not hers. They just left. Is that not true?
Yeah, they left. Now let's talk about the voting process. The procedure. She wanted secret ballot. You insisted for your supporters.
No.
The chief.
No. You have
secret ballot. The raising your hand system was what was going to be used.
Let me tell you. Let's put things in the proper context. She was in a meeting, and I was there, where we all agreed. She first raised it, that we were going to have a raise of hands. So we accepted that. So whose fault? And after she changed.
When she gave her, she changed her mind.
But how can you change at the election day or day before election? How can you do that? You don't do that, things like that. Let us be very objective. Don't pretend or don't think anything that she was cheated. No, you knew exactly what happened here. Everything was intact until today. We did everything together. We counted everything at the office. We voted. 10 said yes for this raise of hands. 3 said no, and she was not even among the 3. So
let me ask one final question. This is the second time that PVP is holding a congress, and the same exact thing is happening. In terms of the image of this party, do you think this is good at all for your party?
No, yeah.
It's good?
Let me tell you, I was watching Senegal TV a few days ago. I saw them fighting, blowing in parliament. That's even more serious than this. So these things happen naturally, on things that we didn't even expect. I saw in Korea, the parliament, Senegal, Nigeria, actually exchanging blows. Here we do not exchange blows. So no. But we led this country before. Listen, we led this country before for almost 30 years. There wasn't anything like this. If she has her grievances, there are channels to channel this thing. Not to do what she did. No.
She threatened that she was going to petition your.
Well, that's fine. She also participated in the last Congress. She also participated in the last elections, which is still going to court. So I can say very clearly that she is a problem person. She was one of the people who lured Bakary Dabo into this mess we are in. So if the same person comes now again to contest and this thing happen, who is gonna blame? It should.
You are not surprised?
No, I'm surprised because I thought she is disciplined. She's an MP. She's a National Assembly member. I thought there will be more decorum in her. She would learn better, but she's not. She's not disciplined. That's the whole thing.
Your deputy is here. I don't know if you have what to say about this, because this is pretty ugly. It's serious.
For me, to be quite honest, I am very disappointed because of the way my colleague demonstrated today. It's a big embarrassment to the party. It's a big embarrassment to the people of Banjul, especially the people of Banjul South who elected her into office. we are trying to gain the power that PPP gained before, some almost 30 years ago. And inshallah, by the grace of the Almighty, we will be there. And some people are bringing obstacles for us not to reach to the peak of the mountain, but we will. You see, in fact, you asked Honorable K about a question. Is this going to be a problem for the party? It will not. No. Because some people, for her, if sometimes she advocates for something in Parliament or said something in Parliament, everybody will be insulting or castigating our party just because of one individual.
Exactly.
So if this is showing people that this is not PP is not causing all this problem, but it's only one individual. It's very clear.
And you are saying that is her. Yeah. That is Honorable Tumanjai.
It's loud and clear. Yeah. It's loud and cleer.
Yeah. She said there was secret ballot at the Parliament and then you counter.
Yes, I did. I explained here to the public that she was the first to agree to do raise of hand voting up till the last minute, and she said no. We went to we went to the head office to do a central committee meeting, and we discussed about the issue, and we later voted, and it was 10 against 3. The majority carries the vote. So you cannot come here and say that we will not continue with the elections. Secondly, the program guide we didn't indicate in the program guide that we are going to give speeches before the elections, and she tries to impose that to us by force. Is that done? Is that decorum? No. A honorable should have charisma and and ethics to have ethics, to talk to people, to behave in public.
Now, what do you say to the claim that the O.J. Jallow contingent or charges are plotting to sell this party to NPP Barrow?
No.
That's what some of you people are planning.
That's a big fat lie.
The charges that are coming from the other camp. That is what you want. You want to sell the soul of your party to Barrow.
Well, they were not saying it before, until this last minute.
Exactly.
It's a big fat lie.
We were in coalition with UDP before. So many years. PPP had coalition with UDP, but they don't talk about that. PPP had coalition well before independence. But we don't talk about that. PPP has always had coalition with parties. So for us, it's not even a coalition. We were supporting about 8 or 9 other parties, if I remember, who formed this coalition. Others left because of something else they know. PPP stayed on. Can you imagine if UDP and Barrow were not faulted, you think they would have left? They would have stayed. But we are not. Somebody cannot be angry and make us angry. If other parties are angry, we are not. We worked hard to bring Gambia to where it is today. So all of you, I came back to Gambia because of your support. Most of you voted for the coalition. That's how we got the change. And that's how I was able to come back to Gambia. I would have been in exile. And my best friend, died in my hands in Dakar, Buba Balde. Yaya would not allow him to be buried here. If Yaya had stayed, I may have died in America or Dakar. I would not have been buried here. We all voted for that change. OJ was sacked as a minister. Nobody complained. My party, nobody complained. But when Usenu had a problem with UDP, people want us to be angry. Why would we be angry? Because somebody is angry. No, it's not. It doesn't work that way. PPP will stay on course. We have a coalition partner. We will discuss with Barrow how we will move forward from henceforth. Now the PPP has given me mandate to run the party, and I will do it in the best interest of the party.
Very well, one party, 2 leaders. That is the People's Progressive Party. That will be that for the show. Thank you for being there. We'll be back tomorrow. Until then, I am Lamin Jai.